Alright, so yesterday we talked about direct and indirect objects. Today we are going to be on the back side of that handout, and we're going to be talking about predicate nominatives, which is just a fancy way of saying nouns, and predicate adjectives. So the big difference between the objects and the predicates is the verb. So at the top of the back of your paper, I want you guys to write in giant letters, okay, needs a, what do you think it's going to need? Linking verb. Nice. So write that in big letters. Needs a linking verb. Okay, that's going to be the key distinguishing factor between whether we look for a direct or indirect object and whether we look for a predicate nominative or a predicate adjective. Okay, so you guys, I've told you over and over, you have to memorize those linking verbs. Okay, because you have to know when you find the verb in the sentence, you have to know if it's an action verb or a linking verb so you know what complement you should be looking for. Okay, so knowing the distinction between the verbs is going to be key here. Okay, so let's talk predicate nominatives first. You can call them predicate nouns. It's the exact same thing. I just like feeling fancy, so I say nominative. Okay, and we're going to abbreviate these PN. So let's look first at the definition. A predicate noun or nominative completes a linking verb, not an action verb, okay, and renames the subject. It is the noun that modifies the subject. Okay, that is the key. So predicate nominatives, you guys, are always going to be nouns. What else are usually nouns from yesterday? Do you guys remember? What else has to be a noun or a pronoun? What other kind of complement? I'll give you a hint. We did them yesterday. Good morning, happy Tuesday. Yeah, Lathan. Or, yeah. Okay, so either of the objects, direct objects or indirect objects, they always have to be a noun or a pronoun. Predicate nominatives always have to be a noun, okay? So we're going to kind of take a look at how we do this. Now, what did we do to find the direct object in a sentence? Who remembers the steps that we followed? Just need a little refresher here. Yeah, Malachi. Say it louder. Okay, find the subject. What else? Auburn? Get rid of the prep phrases. What else? Find the verb. And then what's the last thing we do to find the direct object? Somebody I haven't heard from. I'm going to hear from all of you today. And we'll go around. Marcus. No. To find the direct object, what do? Lauren? Yes, we ask our direct object question. I thought you were talking about the arrows. No, those are to identify adjectives or adverbs. But to find the direct object, we ask our direct object question. And what are our direct object questions? You guys remember? Creighton. What or whom? Okay, so those are our steps to find the direct object. From there, how do we find the indirect object? So we've already gotten rid of the prep phrases. We found our subject. We found our verb. We found our direct object by asking what or whom. How do we find the indirect object? Lauren? Close. Ask to whom or for whom. Yeah, so those ones are always going to be a whom. I personally think that finding predicate nominatives and predicate adjectives is a little bit easier because you don't have quite as many steps. You still want to get rid of prep phrases. You still want to find the subject and the verb. Okay, you're going to want to do that in every single sentence always. But then from there, once you identify the verb as being a linking verb, all that you're going to do, okay, so let's look at this sample. All you're going to do is replace the verb with an equal sign. Okay, so let's practice here. The teacher is Mrs. Burke. Okay, where is our subject in that sentence? Jacob? Yes. Teacher is our subject. Okay, where's our verb? Raise your hand. Okay, so what kind of verb is this? Action or linking? Nope. You have the linking verbs on the back of your sheet, so make sure you're looking at them. It's a linking verb. Am is our verb, be, these are the verbs, right? If it doesn't look like an action, like you can't perform it, then it's going to be a linking verb. So linking verb. If you have a linking verb, all you guys have to do is replace it with an equal sign. Okay, then it'll be the subject equals what? So teacher equals Mrs. Berg. You see how easy that was? So Mrs. Berg is the predicate nominative. So all we do with these sentences, if we have a linking verb, you just replace it with an equal sign. And ask yourself, what does the subject equal? Because remember with the predicate nominatives, what they're doing is they're renaming the subject. So Mrs. Berg is renaming who the teacher is. Okay, that's what a predicate nominative does. So let's look at number 1. Okay, our representatives are Bob, Deborah, and Jess. What is the first thing we do? First thing we do. Diana. Before that even. Yeah, go ahead. Yes, let's get rid of our prep phrases. Okay, so do we have any prep phrases in number 1 we need to get rid of? Everybody, I need a nod. Yes or no? Do we have any prep phrases in number 1? Big old no. Okay, we don't. So then, like Diana said, we go and we find our subject. Okay, now I'm actually going to reverse the order here. So on some of the examples we did yesterday even, I sometimes think it's easier to find the verb first, especially when you have linking verbs. I think that finding the verbs first is a lot easier because then you can ask yourself, okay, who is that action being attributed to? So let's actually find the verb first. Now, we already know what kind of verb we're looking for, right? Mason, what kind of verb are we looking for? A linking verb. Do we have a linking verb in number 1? What is it? Are. Okay, so let's label our linking verb are. A-R-E. For those of you listening online, A-R-E, not O-R. O-U-R. Okay, so are is our linking verb. Okay, what is the subject in this sentence? Who or what is the sentence about? And be careful on this one. Auburn? Yes. Okay, representative. You guys, most of the time our subject is going to come before our verb, unless we have an inverted sentence. Okay, but with us just learning all of this stuff, I'm very rarely going to give you inverted sentences. So for the sake of learning, your subject is going to come before your verb. Okay, so what do we do? What is the next step? We crossed out our prep phrases, we have our subject, we have our verb, we know it's a linking verb, so what do we do to find our predicate nominative? Malachi. Yes, draw an equal sign where our linking verb is. Okay, so representatives equal, what is our predicate nominative here? Jacob? Yes. Bob, Deborah, and Jess. Okay, we have 3 predicate nominatives here. And can you guys see how these predicate nominatives are renaming representatives? Okay, and notice our subject here is plural, meaning that there's going to be more than one rename, which is why we have the plural predicate nominative. Now we just have the one word left in the sentence, O-U-R, are. What is happening with that word? What is that word doing? Half of you are sleeping still. You all know this. Come on. The O-U-R word, what is it doing? Somebody I haven't heard from? Everybody's avoiding my eye contact. Marcus, what is it doing? Do you know?
No.
Yeah, what is it doing?
No.
Oh, see, Marcus, get it. Yeah, buddy. Okay, it's modifying representative, right? It's a possessive Beautiful. Do you guys feel like this is pretty easy? Pretty straightforward. I really think predicate nominatives and adjectives are way easier than direct and indirect objects. Okay, so I want you guys to actually try number 2 on your own. Remember the steps. Get rid of prep phrases, find your subject, find your verb, draw your equal sign. If you're struggling to find the verb, flip your paper over. There's a list of the linking verbs on the front side of your paper at the top. Use it. There for you guys to use. What is the first thing that we do? I'm going to start going around the room. Just to make you all talk. I know it's a two-step. I'm the worst. Lacey, we're going to start with you. What's the first thing that we do? Before that even. Yes, get rid of your prep phrases. Do we have any prep phrases in number 2 that we can get rid of, Jacob? Of the nation. Get rid of it. Why do we get rid of our prep phrases? Does anybody remember why? Yes, Auburn. Yes, what is never going to be inside of our prep phrases? Malachi. Say it louder. The subject, the verb, what else is never going to be inside of a prep phrase? Diana? Yeah, or predicate nominatives or predicate adjectives. Okay, all of these are your complements. So we get rid of our prep phrases because you're never, ever, ever going to have a subject, a verb, or a complement inside of a prepositional phrase. That's why we get rid of them. Because then it narrows down where all of those items can be in our sentence. Okay, Lauren, what do we do next? Yeah, let's find the verb. So what's our verb here, Lauren? Will become. What? Well, that's like 2. What's going on here, Lauren? Can you explain this to us? Will is a helping verb. What about become? Become is a linking verb. Nice job. Yes, crushing it. Okay, you guys, whenever you have a verb phrase, okay, remember, that's what we call it when we have more than one verb. Okay, you're always going to have a helping verb, and then you're going to have what we call the main verb. Okay, the second verb is always going to be the main verb. Okay, and that is going to determine whether you have an action or a linking verb. Sometimes this will be an action verb. In this instance, it's a linking verb. Okay, what's the next thing that we do, Marcus? We crossed out our prep phrases. We found our verb. What do we do next? Find our subject. So, Marcus, what is our subject? He is our subject. Beautiful. Okay, Auburn, what do we do next? Yes, we put an equal sign where our verb phrase is. Okay, so he equals Tate. So leader is our what? How do we label it? Yes, our predicate noun, our predicate nominative. So we label it PN. How did we do? Show me on your fingers. Thumbs up if you got it 100%. Thumbs down, not so much, somewhere in between. Okay, we're still going to practice. I see some thumbs hovering here, so we're going to practice. Let's go to number 3. Okay, follow those steps exactly. Cross out your prep phrases. Find your verb, find your subject, put an equal sign. Go ahead and do number 3 now. Why don't you guys try number 4 too? Let's just do 3 and 4. Okay, you guys, if you're struggling with this, I want you to write the steps down in your notes. Okay, so if you're struggling, write the steps down. What is step number 1? What do we do first? Robert. Yes, okay. Cross out prepositional phrases. Okay, what's the second step that we do? What's the second step we do, Malachi? Yes, find the subject and what? Find the subject and the verb. Okay? And then what's the third step we do here? On this side. Robert? Yes. Okay, replace verb with equal sign. Okay? If you're struggling, you best be writing these in your notes. Okay? Even if you're not struggling, this is probably a good thing to know. Now, you guys, number 1, as I'm walking around kind of looking, some of us are crossing out things that we think are prep phrases but aren't really prep phrases. If you're not sure if it's a prep phrase, don't cross it out. Okay? Only cross it out if you're 100% sure that it's a prepositional phrase. Because what might happen is you might cross out the verb or the subject, and then we're really in a pickle. Okay, so if you don't know 100% in your soul that it is a prep phrase, just don't cross it out. You'll get to it later. Okay? All right, so let's take a look at number 3. Let's follow our steps. I think, Mason, I left off at you. So we need to cross out the prepositional phrases in number 3. Mason, do we have any prep phrases to cross out in 3? I'll give you a verbal. No, we do not. Okay, number 2, Elaine. We need to find the subject and the verb. So how about let's just start with the verb. Do you have a verb for me in number 3? Could be. Oh my gosh, look at that. We have another verb phrase. So Wang, how are we going to label this? Yes, could as the helping verb and be as the linking verb. Okay, Million, do we have any other verbs in this sentence? Yes, nice. What kind of verb is receives? I don't think so. Okay, let me double check. Hang on. Oh yeah, you're right. I lied. Yes, it is an action verb. I'm thinking of a different verb. Okay, so we have linking verb and we have an action verb. Oh boy, this is getting complicated. Okay, Creighton, we need to find our subjects next. So let's start with the subject for our helping linking verb combo up here. What is the subject of that verb phrase? Abraham Lincoln. What? But isn't that 2 subjects? No, why? Because it's 1 person. It's a proper noun. When we have proper nouns, you guys, it functions as 1 subject. Okay, Creighton, I'm going to continue to pick on you. What's our subject for this action verb back here? It is he. Okay. Now, you guys, how many of you can be honest, you can just give me a little hand raise, thought that this word if was a preposition? Did anybody think that was a preposition? Yeah. Okay, I'm seeing a lot of you. If is not a preposition. Okay? If is a subordinating conjunction. So when you see the word if, what it's doing is it's introducing a dependent clause. Okay, so this right here If he receives enough votes is a dependent clause. Remember, when we have clauses, we're always going to have another set of subject and verb in our second clause. Okay, so I know that one was a little tricky, but you guys are doing great. Okay, now, whoa, Diana, you have a hard job. Okay, what do we do here to find our complement? Yes, we replace this set with an equal sign because we have a linking verb, right? Whenever we have a linking verb, we replace it with an equal sign. Okay, well, we have an action verb over here. Can we just replace it with an equal sign, Diana? Oh, what do we have to do? What do we find first? Yes. Okay, so Diana said, because we have an action verb here, we have to find our direct object. Okay, I'll stop picking on you. Maddie, how do we find our direct object? Yes. What are our questions that we ask? Yes. He receives what? So Maddie, what is our direct object back here? Yes. Votes. Beautiful. You guys are doing great. Okay. Now we kind of just skipped over this equal sign up here. Okay, so Aiden, this is to you. We have Abraham Lincoln equals what? So what are we going to label president? PN for predicate nominative. Oh my gosh, you guys are doing an amazing job. Okay, we have a few other words here that we have to figure out what they're doing. So Malachi, this is going to fall to you. Let's start with R. What is our doing? Describing? Don't overthink it. You know it. R is describing what? Nope. Yeah, you got it. R is describing present. How about next? What is next describing? Still on you, Malachi. Yep. Okay, so R and next are both adjectives describing president. Okay, Malachi, last one, then I'm done picking on you. How about enough? Yes, enough is describing both. Beautiful. All right, how are we doing? How are we doing on that one? That one was tricky. There's like a nice combination of different kinds of complements there. Okay, we're on to number 4. You guys, I'm sorry to say number 4 is still not super easy. Because number 4 is an inverted sentence where our subject comes inside of a verb phrase. So, whenever you have an inverted sentence, especially a question, if you can rewrite it into a statement, a lot of the times it'll be easier to hear where everything is. Okay, so if we could rewrite this question into a statement, it would be, Nancy will be homecoming queen tonight. Okay, then it's a little bit easier to find all of your components. But the first thing that we have to do, Mary, is we have to cross out our prep phrases. Mary, do we have any prep phrases in number 4? We don't. Okay, so then we got to find our subject and our verb. Let's start with our verb. Where's our verb, Mary? Be. Nice. Okay, what kind of verb is be? Linking verb. So do we have any other verbs in this sentence? Yeah. What? Will. What is will? Yes, so will is a helping verb. Okay, so notice, you guys, we have a split verb phrase here. That happens all the time when you have questions. All the time. So like I said, if you rewrite it into a statement, Nancy will be homecoming queen tonight, then the verb phrase will be together. Okay, so we found our verb. Lathan, back to you. We got to find our subject. So who or what is the sentence about? Yes, Nancy is our subject. Okay, Jacob, what do we do next? How do we find the predicate nominative though? What do we have to do? Great. Yes, we replace our verb with an equal sign. Well, which verb are we replacing here? Yeah. Replace be with an equal sign. So Nancy equals Lauren. Oh, homecoming queen. What? Why isn't it just queen? Well, but why do we include both of these as our predicate nominative instead of just the one? I don't understand. Can anybody explain this to me? Auburn? Yes. It's a proper noun. It's a title. Whenever you guys have these capitals here, okay, that means it is a proper noun and it is functioning as one unit. Okay, it's a name. Okay, what is tonight doing? Does anybody know? What is tonight? Okay, Auburn, what do you think? It is an adverb modifying what? Yes, it's an adverb modifying the verb will be. Beautiful, because it's telling us when she will be. So it's answering one of those adverb questions. How are we feeling on predicate nominatives? Show me with your fingers. Are you okay? Not so okay? Kind of somewhere in between? Okay. All right, we're looking okay. Okay, you guys, if you follow those steps, okay, you really can't go wrong. But you just got to take it step by step. All right, let me erase this. This is a very sticky mark. Okay, I'm going to leave my steps up here because we do the exact same thing with our predicate adjectives. Now, you've probably been able to guess the difference between a predicate nominative and a predicate adjective. Okay, one is a noun, and the other one is, what do you think? An adjective. Okay? It's right in the name. But you guys, we find them the exact same way. But you have to know the difference between adjectives and nouns. Okay, nouns are person, place, or a thing. Adjectives are words that describe. So you have to be careful when you're labeling these. You find them the same way, but the label's going to be different based on what part of speech the word is. So let's take a look at number one. Okay, we follow these same steps. So we cross out prepositional phrases first. Do we have any prep phrases in number one? Where did I leave off? Marcus, I left off with you. Do we have any prep phrases in number one?
No.
No. Okay, great. So we move on to step two. We find the subject and the verb. Auburn, where's our verb in number one? Work. Action or linking? Linking verb. So label that LV. Tate, we need our subject. Be careful, Tate. What's our subject in number one? Yeah. Accusations. Why is John's not our subject? Marcus? Huh?
It's owned by him.
Yes. Okay, it's a possessive, right? And possessives are always what part of speech, Marcus?
Well, the,
Who knows it? Tate? Adjectives, right. Possessives are always adjectives, you guys. You have to remember that. You can never have an adjective as the subject of your sentence. Okay, subjects always have to be nouns or pronouns. So, Tate, I'm going to pick on you again. Okay, since this is an adjective, what word is it describing? Yes, it's describing accusations. Beautiful. Okay, Mason, what do we do next? Replace the verb with an equal sign. So we're going to replace were with an equal sign. So accusations equal what, Mason? False. Now, is this a noun or an adjective? It's an adjective. So we're going to label this PA for predicate adjective. okay? Because it's not a noun. If it were a noun, we would label it PN, but it's not. So you have to be careful in distinguishing the parts of speech when you're doing this. Okay? We feel okay? Do you want to do one more together, or do you want to try it on your own? Raise your hand for together. Okay, we're going to try it together. Okay, so let's look at number 2. Elaine, left off with you. Okay, do we have any prep phrases here? At the game, get rid of it. Because remember, your subject, your verb, and your complements will never be inside of a prep phrase. So just get rid of it. Okay, Million, we got to find our subject and our verb. So where's our verb in number 2? Felt. Action or linking verb? Yes, everybody, flip your paper over. Look at your linking verb. Doesn't seem like it would be a linking verb, but where is it on our list? Is the word felt on our list? Is it? I don't see it. What the heck? I don't see felt on there. Mrs. Berg, you're yanking my chain. Diana, explain this to us. Yes. She said felt is the same word as feel. Okay? It's just a different tense. So you guys, whenever you have the past tense, present tense, or future tense of any of these linking verbs, it's still going to be a linking verb. Okay? Because we have feel there, that means that felt and feels is also going to be linking verbs. Okay, so we found our linking verb. Beautifully done. Creighton, subject. Jonah is our subject. Gorgeous. Okay, Diana, what do we do next? Yes, replace the linking verb with an equal sign. So put an equal sign where felt is. Okay, Maddie, finish us off. What else do we have to do here? Yes, so predicate adjective is what? Annoyed. And we know it's a PA, not a PN, because annoyed is an adjective, not a noun. Beautiful. Okay, I want you guys to try 3 and 4 on your own. Do 3 and 4 on your own. Follow the steps. They help. Good girl. Okay. Lauren just gave me like the coolest tip ever to give you guys. So her little trick that she found out if you can identify the linking verb to check to make sure that it is indeed a linking verb, you can replace it with is or are. And if the sentence still works, then you identified the correct linking verb. So like, for example, we replace felt here with is. Jonah is annoyed. Still makes sense, right? Accusations are false. Still makes sense. So you can use is and are as kind of like your self-check to make sure you actually identified the correct linking verb. Nice tip, Lauren. I like that. Okay, let's take a look at number 3 together, you guys. Where did I leave off? I think I left off. Aiden, have I picked on you yet? I'm going to pick on you again. All right, Aiden, number 3. First thing we have to do is get rid of prep phrases. Do we have any prep phrases in number 3?
Yeah.
What are they? Of the judgment and of Paris. Oh my gosh, you guys. Do you see why it's so important to get rid of those prep phrases? We just eliminated over half of our sentence. That is bonkers. Okay, well, now we got to find our subject and our verb. Malachi, let's start with our verb. Remain, action or linking? Linking, because Malachi is using the linking verbs and he's memorizing them. And he knows that remain is a linking verb. Nice. Okay, subject, Malachi. Day. Okay, the day is the one that's remaining. Beautiful. Okay, Mary, what do we do next? Replace the verb with an equal sign. Okay, so what's next? Today equals what? Yep, so bleak is what? How do we label it? PA, because it's an adjective, right? And it follows a linking verb. Beautiful. What do we do with the? So, yes, it's modifying day. Beautiful. Lathan, back to you. Number 4, cross out the prep phrases. Do we have any prep phrases to cross out? Number 4. Do we? Yes or no? No, we do not. Okay, Jacob. We got to find our subjects and our verbs here, and there's a lot of them. Let's just start with this first piece right here. Okay? Subject and verb me, Jacob. Nope, just right here. Okay, so subject is popcorn. What's our verb? Action or linking? Linking! Okay, what do we do to find our PN or PA? Linking verb, what do we do? Replace it with an equal sign. Okay, Lauren! Popcorn equals what? PA or PN? PA, salty, because it's an adjective. You guys probably noticed that this sentence kind of follows a pattern, right? This one I want to talk about. I want to talk about the next one. The ice cream seemed frothy. Okay? What would be our subject there? Peyton? Cream. What is ice doing? It's describing cream. Okay, beautiful. So cream, seemed is our linking verb, frothy is our predicate adjective. And the pattern continues. Okay, so it's just a pattern here, linking verb, PA, which you probably noticed. Okay, remember I told you, when you have punctuation in a sentence, like a comma or a semicolon or even a colon, you're probably going to have more than one subject and more than one verb. So you need to make sure you're identifying all your verbs and asking what subject matches up with that verb. Okay? How did we do with these? Thumbs up, forgot it. Sideways, so, down, terrible. Where are we at? Show me where you're at. Okay, I see a lot of thumbs up. That's awesome. Now, you guys, the hard part comes when you start having a mixture of both direct objects and predicate nominatives and adjectives. Okay? But you have to remember the rule. What is the key rule to distinguish what type of complement we're looking for? What do we always look at to figure out, are we looking for an object or are we looking for some sort of predicate, adjective, or nominative? Creighton, what's the rule? Yes, okay, you have to look at the verb. If it's an action verb, what kind of complement do we look for first? Diana? A direct object. Once you find your direct object, you can see if you have an indirect object. But remember, you will never, ever, ever have an indirect object without a direct object. If you have a linking verb, then you're going to be looking for either a predicate nominative or a predicate adjective. This is why it is so crucial, you guys, that you know what kind of verb your sentence is using and why you distinguish it when you're labeling. Make sure you write AV over your action verbs and LV over your linking verbs. So then it'll help you decide, okay, what kind of complement am I looking for? All right? Okay, on the bottom of your paper, we have a bunch of extra practice questions. You guys, these ones have a combination of all of the different kinds of complements. So I want you to try the first two by yourself. Okay, make sure you pay close attention to those verbs. So go to your extra practice extra practice section and try numbers 1 and 2. If you get done with 1 and 2 and want to move on to 3 and 4, feel free to do so. Okay, it's looking like most of us are done with 1 and 2, so I want to make sure that we talk about them. I'm going to go up until the bell, just going over these. So your homework tonight, you guys, is that worksheet that you picked up from the back cube. Okay, you're doing all of the problems. It's just going to give you more practice on this mixed combination of different types of complements. Okay, so let's make sure we have the hang of this. Let's start with number 1. First thing we do, get rid of our prep phrases. Do we have any prep phrases in number 1 we need to get rid of? Everyone together. No. Okay, so then we have this comma here, which means we should be looking on both sides of the comma for a verb and a subject. So let's start on this side of the comma first. Okay, do we have a verb here? Malachi. Action or linking? Yes, was is a linking verb. Okay, what is our subject that goes with that verb? Anybody, you guys can just shout it out. Assignment goes with that verb. Okay, beautiful. Let's look on the other side of the comma. Do we have a verb on the other side of the comma? What? Paid. Action or linking? Action verb. Okay, do we have a subject that goes with paid? He. Beautiful. Okay, let's go back over to this side with our assignment and was linking verb. What do we do when we have a linking verb? Million. Yes, we replace our linking verb with an equal sign. So the assignment equals what, you guys? Harder. Is that an adjective or a noun? Adjective. So what are we going to label it? PA. It's a predicate adjective. Beautiful. Okay, let's figure out this one. We have an action verb, so what do we do? Ask what question, Malachi? Yes, he paid what or he paid who? We asked our direct object question. So he paid what, you guys? Attention. So, oh my. So what do we label attention? What? What do we label it? D-O. Oh no. Oh no. Oh my. Okay, well, I guess we're done. We would label it D-O. Okay, good job, you guys. I will post the answer key for these notes on Google Classroom under today's assignment. Okay, so make sure you guys finish up those 1 through 4, and then you can look at the answer key to help you, okay? Don't forget to do that worksheet for your homework.